Hello and welcome back to the Listening to Your Gut podcast. I'm really excited because I don't get to do this often enough. I don't get to read incredible books such as this one here that I have in my hands, and then follow it up by getting to chat with the author of the book. So today we have the author of The Glutathione Revolution, Dr. Nayan Patel, and oh my gosh, the book is incredible. You need to read it, but we're going to talk about a lot of what's in there and then beyond today. Um, I'm so excited to have Dr. Patel on today because we're going to really get into this master antioxidant, glutathione, GSH for short. And you're just going to be blown away by the conversation we're about to have. So welcome, Dr. Patel, to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Callie and Riker. I'm sorry. Just want to make sure we acknowledge Riker. He's listening in, and so
Yep.
we want to make sure. Thank you for having me today, and appreciate you calling me. And I think we should blow your audience up today.
Whoa, we are. We're going to blow their minds and then some today. I'm excited. I have been telling my audience for quite some time that you were going to be coming on and just pumping them up. So they are excited. They're ready to hear from you.
Awesome.
And this topic is just one that needs to be spread, like you and I were chatting about off the mic, far and wide. So I really want to start us off with, if you wouldn't mind giving us just your background in health, in the health and wellness field, in the medical field, and really how that sparked this desire to write the book and then ultimately to create your products.
Of course. Uh, by trade, I'm a pharmacist. That's where my education is. But back in my mind, my father was an entrepreneur, right? Doing business. He had a clothing manufacturing facility in Africa. And we had a commercial farming in Africa and dairy farming in Africa. So he had some means to send me to the United States for educations, which I got my education over here in Southern California. But they said they'd do something besides what I did. So of course, I did pharmacy school, like every kid would love to do it, right? I don't know about that, but uh, as a pharmacist, my background was entrepreneur, but I'm a pharmacist. And said, you know what, I could work as a pharmacy, and quickly realized, oh my God, all the medications we have in this world, and we are not solving any problems.
Mm.
What if you went to school to learn to solve a problem, but when you graduate, you go to the job, and he says, by the way, we're not solving people's problem. What we're going to do over here is we're going to manage people's problems,
Mhm.
because managing gives you money for rest of your life. Solving, it's gone tomorrow. And it says, wait a second, this is not fun. This
Right.
is not fun. Initially, I thought, oh my God, this is such a great business model, until your own family gets sick and he said, oh my God, now what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so very quickly, I lost my mother in 4 years after my graduation. I lost my mom. And so it's just put me in a different mindset. I said, you know what? We got to do something. I have to do something. About the time I had my own pharmacy, so I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing some customized medicines for my clientele. And so I started doing compounding practice in Southern California. We are one of the, I think, the first few 5 or 10 compounding pharmacies in the whole state of California. Now there are thousands of them everywhere in the world. But so we were the first few ones that's trying to be different, trying to offer solution to our patients. Uh, but then I started reading that even those medications were not actually solving a lot of problems for people. It was managing better, but
Yeah.
it was not solving problem. And then I realized, and an epiphany just clicked into my brain one day, because one of the doctors came to me, wanted to make some products. I said, why do you want to make some products like these? I said, oh, don't you know? The key is to let your body deal with the problems. And I says, wait a second. What does that mean? I said, that means all the meds in the world is not going to solve the problems. What's going to solve the problem is you strengthen your body from inside,
Yeah.
and the body will deal with its own problems.
Yep.
Well, what's a novel approach, right? So when that started, You started researching every single thing, and guess what? Every finger started pointing towards one molecule. One molecule. That was glutathione. So the question that you asked me is why glutathione? Is
Yeah.
because it is the most abundant molecule produced in the human body. We only have identified like a couple of functions in the human body. For 140 years, we have known about glutathione, and we only found out that it only does like two or three things, right?
You're right.
We have so many things to find out,
Mm-hmm.
but you can only find out if you can get it inside your body,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where it's supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What good is the money if it's stuck in some bank account that you have no access to,
Right. Yeah.
right? But the money in your wallet, hey, I can go to some fancy restaurants today and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy, right?
Right.
So, what good is glutathione if it's not where it's supposed to be inside your body? So, until we figure out where it needs to be and we figure out how to get there, all of a sudden, the first time the research started all over again. And now it's 2007. That's when I first started. So, anyways, my
Wow.
background is pharmacist. I
Yeah.
turned into a researcher. I had an entrepreneur background, so it's a lot easy for me to communicate with people
Yeah.
because a lot of scientists. I have 7, 8 patents right now approved for this molecule, so I consider myself as also part of scientific researcher.
Yeah.
But a researcher, if they cannot communicate with the world, what good is the research? And
Right.
so, thank God my dad also trained me to become an entrepreneur, talk to people, educate people. And so now I'm here from the lab to the podcast, right? It's the same
Yeah.
guy. I
Yep.
can go in the lab and make stuff and create things, but I can come on this podcast and educate you and talk to your people and let them know what I've just created.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and I mean, gosh, I feel like after reading your book, like I'm an understudy. Like I know so much. So the questions I'm about to ask you, a lot of them I already know the answers to because I read the book. In fact, basically all of them. But I want my listeners to be able to hear from you because it's your knowledge, your research that you have shared with us in this book. And so, I know the benefits of glutathione from my background in, holistic nutrition as well as reading your book. But for those that are still like, okay, so glutathione, it's this, master antioxidant. So what? What are the benefits? And I know there's many, but tell us, what are some of those benefits?
So, unfortunately, we will only identify few benefits as of right now because until now, we never had a molecule that actually improved glutathione levels to the highest level.
Hmm.
So the benefit is what we know for right now is that it's a most powerful antioxidant. Uh, Antioxidants are something that reduce oxidative stress due to two factors: oxygen species as well as nitrogen species. Oxygen you breathe every single day. I'm not suggesting you stop breathing, but I'm suggesting that if you breathe, then you should remove all the excess oxygen that is not being used up by your body,
Hmm.
right? And then the body have chemical reactions that happens every single day. The byproducts of those chemical reactions are either oxygen species or nitrogen species, and they both are very reactive and they can damage your body from inside. So the
Hmm.
body has to somehow neutralize them and make them ineffective. So
Hmm.
that's one function, right? The second function that we have identified is glutathione is one of the strongest conjugator we have in your liver. What's a conjugator? Conjugators are molecules that basically take some chemicals that's in your kidneys, binds to it, make them water soluble so you can pee it out. Easy, right? Easy. But something has to attach to it. Something has to make it neutralize those chemicals because your liver processes so many chemicals. Imagine you wake up in the morning, and by the time you leave your house, which is an hour or two later, you've been exposing yourself to at least 70 different toxic chemicals every
Yeah.
morning.
Yep.
The liver says, "Ah, okay, wake up now, time to go to work, right? And so every single day, your liver has to process these chemicals, make them somewhat water soluble, or make them bind to the fiber so you can poop it out. Either way, you got to get rid of these molecules out of your body.
Hmm.
Glutathione aids in the conjugation process. Those two functions we know for sure.
Yep.
Now, think about it. Today, if you look at any literature in the world and you ask them or ask your favorite AI robot, I said, what are the top 10 causes of death in the world? They're going to label blah blah blah. One of them are accidents, right? Take them out of there because I cannot control accidents. Okay, I cannot control that.
Right.
The other nine out of the top 10 causes of death in the world, every one of them is linked to oxidative stress. Cancers, heart disease, metabolic disorders, psychosis, mental health, all those things. You can name autoimmune conditions. Every one of them is linked to oxidative stress.
Yep.
Now, antioxidants like glutathione can reduce antioxidants, can reduce oxidative stress down. Is that the only thing we need help with? Because the oxidants they're causing this end stage diseases that's
Hmm.
killing people. There's a step of series that's happening.
Yeah.
Where is glutathione helping in all these different series? We don't know yet. And the thing is, the research hasn't been gone to that part yet because 140 years we were never able to even get the glutathione into the body intracellularly in the first place. How
Yeah.
the heck are you going to do the research?
Right.
So now that we have the technology to actually enter the cells for the very first time, just imagine you can access a remote part of this world that have never been seen before by anybody in the world. And you get pictures from there. This is what it looks like from inside. So, oh my God, it's so beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go there and find out for themselves. But
Yeah.
now that you have access to it, that you can go there, now the question is, how can you make it different for us, right?
Right.
If, for example, man starts colonizing Mars, for example, we don't know what's over there.
Right.
But if we colonize Mars, we can learn from there and make Earth a better place. Hopefully, I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just going too far fetched now. Riker, please stop me if I'm going too far, or just bark or do something, because I go off on tangent all the time.
No, no, it's all good. No, that's incredible. And I appreciate you going into those depths and sharing that. And I mean, in your book, you talk about how there are links that, we're starting to see, and again, are not fully fleshed out, but we know that there's correlation between, neurological diseases and, like you said, autoimmune conditions. I mean, even the fountain of youth, our skin health, like there's all these correlations, all these connections, right? To GSH, to glutathione, and the impact that it can have on our overall existence. So, I guess my next natural step to ask you is, I'd love for you to explain there are three essential amino acids that go into the creation of GSH. If someone wants to naturally find
Yep.
these amino acids in foods, you do a great job of mentioning in the book, but what are some of the foods that people can start naturally consuming to help make sure that they're you know essentially having the building blocks in their body to then be able to create glutathione?
So, Kelly, my mom told me not to talk about religion, politics, and diet plans. But I'm going to tell you something. Uh, I'm not going to tell you what diet plan it is, but everybody has an AI robot now, right?
Hmm.
You can put your favorite AI search engine,
Hmm.
uh, those three amino acids, glutamine, glycine, and cysteine.
Yep.
Put in the search engine, I say, give me cysteine-rich foods.
Hmm.
Your vegan choices, your vegetarian choices, your carnivore choices, your paleo choices, your Atkins choices. I don't know what choices you want. All choices will be available to you to
Yeah.
find those foods, consume those foods on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I get my amino acids from my from vegetables, but you can get from anywhere.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And if you think the vegetables are not very strong and I can blow you away, try to blow off a gorilla. Gorilla's vegetarian, by the way, or an elephant, right?
Yeah.
It's how your human physiology is built up. So I go back to one more thing.
Yeah.
Whenever you're building blocks in your body,
Yeah.
we say, oh, proteins are the building blocks. No, it's the amino acids.
Mm-hmm.
Amino acids are the one that builds small peptides.
Mm-hmm.
Small peptides makes into large peptides, which we call them proteins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So amino acids are the building blocks for human body,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
They build anything you want, right? Anything you want. If
Yeah.
you want to build a skyscraper, if you want to build a New York City, right? You start from bricks and cement and stones, and you
Yep.
can build anything you want,
Yes.
right? But you don't buy a building from other parts of the world and just create and put them into the city. You
No.
don't do that part, right?
No.
It doesn't
Right.
work that way. You got to build it right there and there,
Yeah.
right? And that's what the body is. The body needs the building blocks with the amino acids, and those amino acids are abundantly found in food items.
Mm-hmm.
Please, if you're taking vitamins, stop it. Stop it. Don't buy my products either. I'm telling you, just stop buying vitamins. Start doing, start treating food as a medicine,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for amino, now the three amino acids that I just mentioned to you, glycine, gliadin, cysteine, are not even the eight essential amino acids. They're not a part of the eight essentials.
Right.
There are eight essential amino acids that you have to eat every single day just to build proteins in your body.
Yep.
So instead of eating a big slab of steak to get your proteins, guess what? I can get you more proteins in a little bit of amino acids that you can get more proteins from than a steak of slab.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Yeah.
the question is, can I get those amino acids in the diet? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Right? Yes, you can get from meat sources, but you also get from vegetable sources. Again, I'm not here to preach anything to anybody. I just want to make sure people
Yeah.
understand that whatever you do, you get your building blocks from any diet you have. Now, I'll tell you one thing. If you, let's say you eat meat, right? The meat is a concentrated form of proteins.
Mm-hmm.
What the body does, the acids in your stomach will kind of unfold the proteins and make it long. Then the enzymes cuts in and cuts up all the proteins into various amino acids, and the body will absorb the amino acids and recreate the protein again, whatever it needs, right? Whatever it needs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It does the same thing with the vegetables. Now, here's the thing: vegetables takes less energy to unfold, chop it, and absorb it,
Mm-hmm.
compared to animal proteins takes a lot more energy to unfold it, chop it, and absorb it. And so some of the energy is lost in absorbing the protein versus in plant-based, the energy lost is very little, right? So that's
Yeah.
why you always want to have a lot more vegetables and less animal fats
Yeah.
or animal proteins, right? But if you just eat animal proteins by itself, your body's using up a lot of energy.
Yep.
So you might be losing some weight. So you feel good about it. That, hey, I lost weight on this all protein diet. But it's not a healthy way because you're not really actually building up your body long term, right?
Absolutely.
Short
Yeah.
term, it feels fantastic. Long term is not a great option. So, anyways, so building blocks is the best way to do it. Thanks for asking me the question because it is the most important thing. I want people to understand that please don't go buy pills and vitamins out there. Start treating food as your medicine.
Whole Foods. Yes. Not the store, the actual Whole Foods.
Food. There you go. That's it.
Yes. Well,
Thank
and
you.
and I love that you mentioned yes, we can Google it. But also you've got some great options in the book as well. I mean, I'm gonna keep coming back to the book because it truly is just a gold mine of incredible information. And if you look at those lists, and heck, if you Google search it and you're like, okay, I've got the list, well, now what? go back to the book because you have so many incredible recipes. I just finished the book, so I haven't been able to make the recipes yet, but that's my next step. There's so many good recipes in here. I'm like, oh, flag that one, want to try that one. That, it's going to be so easy to incorporate these into your daily routine, into your diet because you've made it as such, by
Yeah.
providing us with these incredible resources and these recipes.
Well, I cannot take credit for the recipes, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I know what I eat every single day, but my wife cooks every single day. So this needs to go to Priya, my wife.
Gotta give her
She's the
some
one
credit.
who
Yep.
who gave me the recipes. I said, "Hey, I love this food I eat every single day. Can you give me the recipe?" I said, "Why?" I said, "So I can share with the whole world." I said,
Yeah.
okay." So,
Thank you, Priya, for that. We so appreciate that.
yes.
We so appreciate that. So, again, there are so many different questions that I want to ask you and things that I want to discuss related to glutathione. But I think the next, natural step for me to ask about is, you know, what what besides food can we do to support ourselves?
Yeah.
Heard you talking about in the book exercise, and then you did go into how exercise does deplete glutathione or GSH, but then it's kind of a cyclical cycle. It comes back around in kind of a roundabout way, so to speak. But tell us how exercise, moving our body, just in general, can really help us to also create glutathione.
Absolutely. So before I answer the question, I want to give you the second best way to increase glutathione level
Yeah,
is to actually reduce the consumption of glutathione. It's like my grandpa used to tell me, Nayan, there's two ways to make money. One, you work really hard, but the second part, which is easier, is to spend less money, right?
true,
So,
true.
so the same thing with the glutathione. The body's going to produce enough glutathione for the rest of the day and the rest of their life, but the people that have less consumption of glutathione have more available to the body. So
Hmm.
how do you reduce the consumption of glutathione? That's the question, right? So the known causes that depletes glutathione levels are are exposure to chemicals, so reduce exposure to some sort of chemicals on a daily basis.
Hmm.
Uh, Sunlight, excessive sunlight can do that. Little sunlight is great for you because you need vitamin D and all the energy that comes with it. It's great for you, but
Hmm.
excess sunlight is damaging for you. Exposure to UV lights, then exposure to pollutions,
Hmm.
exposure to solvents. Now, solvent sounds so chemically and nasty,
Yeah.
but guess what? The number one solvent that people drink is alcohol.
Hmm. Hmm.
Alcohol is a solvent by
Yep.
nature.
Yep.
But oh my God, the flavors it comes in and the fancy bottles and the colors that look so pretty. I said, oh my God, I want to drink that myself. But alcohol depletes glutathione level to zero after the first drink. You don't have to wait for a second or third drink. By the first drink, your alcohol levels is zero.
Yeah.
So if you can reduce those urges, right, then you can improve the glutathione reserves in your body. So that's one way. The
Yeah.
second way is that what you were asking me is the stimulation. What you asked me about exercise
Yeah.
is stimulating the body to say, hey, you train the body, say, body, I need more glutathione because look at it, I need to move so much.
Hmm.
Or you do cold plunging,
Hmm.
right? You put yourself 3 minutes in a cold, ice cold bath, like 39 degrees, and oh my God, body's shivering, shivering, shivering. I said, body, produce me more glutathione because my body, I need because I live in an environment where it's cold.
Yeah.
The body will adapt to what your conditions are.
Yep.
If you put it in a controlled conditions, then the body says, okay, you know what? I see that part. If you live in the cold weather, I'll produce more glutathione for you. So
Yep.
it'll do it for you. Oh, it looks like your energy expenses are very high. Okay, let me support you in that section. So it will produce everything in moderation is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yep.
If 30 minutes of exercise is enough to produce glutathione levels, 1 hour is actually is bad for you. The
Hmm.
body says, wait a second, I cannot keep up with the demand.
Right.
right? And if that's the case, you know what? I'm not going to do that at all.
Yeah.
So moderation is a key. Like
Yep.
cold plunging, 3 minutes is what most people recommend. About 3 minutes is more than sufficient. I have I have people that have told me that, oh, I've done cold plunge for 42 minutes. I said, why?
Oh,
Why? Right? Why? What's the benefit of it? Is it like a bragging rights, or do you get a trophy for that one? I have no idea.
yeah.
But 3 minutes is all you need, right?
Yeah.
15 seconds sometimes is better than anything else out there as well, because you're just telling the body that, hey, body, can you protect me if I'm this cold? Body
Hmm.
goes, yes, I can do that part.
Yep.
So that is so control pressure to your body
Hmm.
allows the body to respond and produce more glutathione for you.
Absolutely.
And
And
that's what we're talking about, right?
yeah,
Controlling.
I love that. And again, back to your book, you mentioned in there, it could be as simple as just walking, right?
Yeah,
Getting
that's
your
it.
body move. You don't have to have fancy equipment. You don't have to go to the gym. I mean, those are all optional things, but just move your body, is like one of the biggest key takeaways when I got to that part of the book was like, it doesn't have to be fancy. You even mentioned again, they're cold plunges, but sauna infrared therapy.
Yep, that's it.
I have an infrared in-home sauna and I do that. And I'm so, it's a lot of these things that we know can provide benefit just doing that. And like you said, in moderation, we don't have to go, 35, 40 minutes cold plunging. I can't even fathom that myself. But I love that. It just reminds us that, nothing has to be, so exorbitant or just, so
Excessive.
yeah,
Yeah.
excessive. And so I appreciate that because I think, in this day and age we're looking for what is practical, what is reasonable, what can we do, simply to overall move the needle in our health and wellness. And you just shared it, and again in the book it's mentioned time and time again. We're not asking you to overhaul your life, so to speak. We're
True.
asking you to, really just uh, go back to basics almost.
I mean, look at the animals. Animals, they don't have dumbbells and gyms.
Yeah, right.
Yet they're strong as heck,
Yeah,
right? You see
exactly.
gorilla out there doing bench presses to get his chest so strong? No, God, no.
That would be wild. That would
It'd
be
be
wild.
wild. Well, they aren't wild, but it'd be crazy, right? And yet they have the strongest chest of all,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
so we just have to we need to realize that our all our problems are stemming from our diet.
yep,
And our diet needs to not just change, it needs a paradigm shift.
yep,
Thinking needs to completely change because that's what's affecting us today.
yep,
If it's not grown on a tree or comes on some sort of meat sources, it is not going in my mouth.
yep.
My food doesn't need to come from a tin or a box
Mm-mm.
or in some sun-dried potato chips and sun-dried chips in oh these are eggplant chips sun-dried. I said, no, thank you. I can eat my own eggplant by myself, right?
Right.
It's a nightshade. I don't read nightshades, but again, I'll just give an
Yep.
example.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
and I mean, again, it brings us back to coming back to, like I said, the basics. If we go back to eating whole foods, we go back to just simply moving our body, we're going to start to naturally produce more glutathione in and of itself is part of what I took away from this book, which is again so reassuring because there are so many benefits to doing that, right? To going back to
true.
basics, to eating whole foods, to just moving your body, not just glutathione, but reducing risk of disease, right? Which is again then connected to our glutathione, production, and the more we've of that we have in our body, the less of that oxidative stress we'll have, which obviously contributes to our potential to have disease in our body. So I just again I can't say enough how much I appreciate you leading us back to that throughout the book time and time again and through this conversation thus far. It's not anything um like that you got to overhaul all your life. It's really back to basics.
Thanks, Kelly. I'll give one example, one
Yeah.
analogy on how oxidative stress works in your body
Yeah.
and how
Please.
glutathione can help you with it.
Yeah.
So imagine you at your house, you have a window, and by the window is your reading desk. And of course, you're living by the beach, you can afford it. And so the windows are wide open because there's a nice breeze coming over here. You're reading the books, there's a whole bunch of papers on your desk. But of course, once in a while, the breeze comes really loud, really hard, and knocks all the paper away. So knocking the paper away is my form of analogy of you having multiple diseases in your body,
Mhm.
right? Multiple conditions in your body.
Mhm.
If you have multiple conditions, if you have paper knocked off every place, what do you do first? Do you close the window or do you go pick up the paper first?
Close the window.
Close the window, right? You
Yeah.
see, most people are very, very smart. They understand
Yeah.
that closing the window is the most important thing because guess what? Closing the window allows you to pick up the paper easily
Mhm.
and put it back on the desk.
Yeah.
But if you just close the window, is the papers going to come by themselves on the table?
Mm-mm.
No. So here's the thing. When you have oxidative stress is like window being open and the gush of wind coming and knocking your whole body endocrine system
Yeah.
crazy, right? The first thing you do is stop the oxidative stress. Close the window. What you do with that with? Glutathione. Once you close the window, the body starts healing itself.
Hmm.
What does the body needs to heal itself? I can assure you it's not Twinkies and donuts, right?
Right.
Then, then you put a proper diet in and exercise plan in place and just jogging and walking and just doing some basic stuff. That alone, that alone, with the help of the closed window,
Yep.
you can start reversing all your problems.
Yeah.
I'm talking about reversing autoimmune type symptoms and neurological symptoms, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's symptoms. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Sky's
list
the
of people
limit.
that I have helped is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. The sky's the limit,
The
right?
sky's the limit. And that's what I've been trying to tell people.
Yeah.
Don't think glutathione is going to solve all your problems by itself.
No.
It's just closing the window down so
Yeah.
the body now is protected from outside sources, now is not damaging any further,
Right.
but now it's up to you to heal the rest of the body.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so the most of the people, they have a pretty decent diet. They don't have a bad diet because I mean, diet nowadays is everybody is talked about everywhere in the world. So people do understand what the good diet is.
Yep.
So they do have a decent diet and decent plan of action. But if the window is open, as soon as you fix it, it just blows away again. People are sick and tired of not getting results.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I want people to see results. I want to see results fast. And the only way I can do that is if I close the window down first. Now the body's not getting any further damage. Any improvements you do is long lasting now.
I love that. I appreciate that analogy too. That is a great way to look at it. And so it leads me to my next question, which I again know, this from the book, but someone might be listening in right now and thinking, okay, I know we're probably going to get to talking about supplementing with
Yes.
GSH and we will get there in a moment, but if someone is wondering about that, let's say, they are doing the things they're moving their body, they've got a good healthy diet and they're incorporating lots of rich fruits and vegetables on a daily basis, and but they still want to supplement with GSH. Is there a risk of overdosing? Is there so much as too much?
So keep in mind, if you have a very good diet,
Hmm.
so you have all the building blocks. Imagine, imagine you have all the bricks in the world,
Hmm.
right? That's your diet.
Hmm.
There are all the bricks in the world. Now you're building a house, but somebody comes and gives you some drywall sheets. I said, great. If I take the drywall sheets, I can probably use that up, and whatever is missing, I can put the bricks around it, right?
Right.
So think about it. It's like if you have like small, small drywall sheets coming to you, but you have all the building blocks,
Hmm.
you can still use the building blocks surrounding the drywall sheets. But here's a better question. If you have all the extra bricks that you have, let's say the house is already complete now. Now you have extra bricks.
Hmm.
Here's the thing. You can use the bricks inside your house to build a fireplace.
Hmm.
You can do other things inside your house. And keep in mind, your body, unlike the house, is constantly repairing itself,
Hmm.
right? Taking the dead pieces out and putting the new pieces in every single day. Some cells last 30 days in your body, and some cells last 60 days, and some cells last up to 120 days. But 120 days, every single thing in your body is brand new
Yeah.
until the day you die, right?
It's amazing.
Unlike the house, you built a house in 1950, and it's still the same house today. That's not the same analogy, but I'm just giving you some ideas as the
Sure. Sure.
house is being built all the time.
Yeah.
So you're always going to need those building blocks. By supplementing extra, by supplementing extra, and if that is the biggest cost to your body, if the biggest cost to building a house is bricks, and somebody gives you drywall sheets, and say, "Oh my God, I can save so much bricks now.
Hmm.
I can build this house so cheaply, or I can build it more efficiently." Right? So if you give glutathione to your body, the building blocks from the diet and food that you get, it's still going to be beneficial, but it's going to build the things surrounding it.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to build this one thing. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to build the walls anymore. It's going to
Yeah.
build the things surrounding it. So when you're taking glutathione supplementation, glutathione is the most abundant molecule produced in the human body. That means three amino acids, two enzymes, two molecules of ATP, one molecule of NAD, and one molecule of selenium as a catalyst. Eight things we need to produce one molecule of glutathione. If you get ready-made glutathione, all of a sudden you have excess ATP, excess NAD, excess enzymes that you can use the energy to do something else,
Hmm.
right? You can ask any girl in your audience, any women in your audience,
Yeah.
right? If you have extra, if one of the chores are done by your husband or by your spouse or by your kids, do you stop and relax and do nothing, or do you do something else? Right?
Right. True.
Most people are going to tell you, say, "Oh my God, if there was this one work is done, my work is now
Yeah.
over."
We're
Right?
done.
If I
Yeah.
tell my wife, I said, "Hey, I'll do this thing for you, honey. You can sit back and relax." Yeah, of course, it's easy for you to say, but I have the more things to do, right?
Yeah. Right.
Always have things to do, and so does your body.
Yep.
The body needs energies all the time.
Yep.
So just because you give glutathione, it spares you the ATP energy, which is the in mitochondrial energy that you need the most,
Yeah.
right? The body goes, "Oh, thank you. I can use the energy to do this and this and this, or build a new heart, or build a new kidney, or
Right.
make your body function better."
Yeah. Your body
So
always needs it. Your body
it's
always
always needed.
gonna need it.
So
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea to supplement glutathione,
Yeah.
but to me, it's not a good idea to supplement glutathione at a very early age.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I have found out under the age of 30, I really, really want you to focus on your diet and exercise plan to improve the glutathione levels and not rely on supplementation.
Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah,
Well, and so then this begs the question, okay, what kinds of supplementation,
sure.
get the best results? Again, it's in your book, but you talk about topical creams, IV, glutathione. Tell us, in your research and what you've come to find out, what is the best way to supplement, and then I think that it gives us a natural transition into sharing what you've created.
Yeah.
Dive into
A-
that as well.
And that is the reason why we had this technology that we are working with today,
Yeah.
uh, because the original technology that we introduced in back in 1999, which is 25 plus years ago,
Hmm.
was liposome technologies to make glutathione. That technology was used by pharmaceutical companies to deliver medications.
Hmm.
Uh, but glutathione being a peptide, amino acid chain peptide, we had no idea that peptides were not delivered to human body. The body will never accept the peptides as is.
Yeah.
And I said, I had no idea. Nobody knew that part,
Right.
right? So when we make the glutathione in this liposome technology, we bypass the stomach because the stomach destroys everything. A single thing is, hey, if you bypass the stomach, there's a good chance it'll get absorbed in the intestines. Let's bypass the stomach. So we coated the products with some liposomes, so it keeps on unfolding, unfolding, unfolding. It doesn't get destroyed inside the stomach, and
Hmm.
when it enters the intestines, it opens up and hopefully absorbs it.
Hmm.
Right? That was the whole idea. Did not work. Did not work. It worked for some other molecules like vitamin C and vitamin E and vitamin D and all kinds of other things like that,
Yeah.
but did not work for glutathione because it was a peptide.
Hmm.
So then I said, "Oh man, that's not going to work." So I said, let me make the injectables again. So I was making the intravenous form of glutathione for almost 20 plus years, uh, and even though I knew that it was not going to work because 1991, the research was done where they give 2 grams of IV push on intravenous form of glutathione. And what they found out was all the glutathione was in the urine in about 5 to 15 minutes. And about an hour and a half later, they saw a rise of one of the amino acids, which is cysteine. We didn't give them cysteine. The body was breaking it down, even in the blood,
Wow.
and absorbing the cysteine only.
Huh.
So your body, any place in your whole body,
Yeah.
the body was actually breaking down this glutathione as a peptide, any which way form possible is just going to break it down.
Hmm.
I said, oh my God, this is a huge barrier,
Yeah.
huge barrier. There's nothing that I can do to deliver glutathione to the human body. So then I started looking at the research. 1960s, FDA approved a product called N-acetylcysteine as the only form to produce glutathione. And that NAC molecule is it's just a cysteine molecule, it's just a cysteine amino acid.
Hmm.
That is the only drug approved till today to improve glutathione levels, 60 plus years afterwards. I said, "Oh my God, you mean to say that we have gone to the moon? We have done marvelous things. We have conquered the world with our cell phone. We have internet. We have AI robots today. We got everything in the world, but we still haven't figured out how to get inside the human cells yet? What the heck is wrong with us, right? We have conquered the world, but we cannot go even 1 centimeter deep inside your own body. That's crazy. That
Yeah.
was crazy to me, right? Anyways, so my research was actually, you know what? There are thousands of products. If you just go to any shopping cart, any shopping stores on e-commerce, so I don't care where you go at, there'll be 1,000 choices for you to buy glutathione products.
Hmm.
Capsules, liquids, sprays, and mouthwashes, and injectables, and eye drops, and oh my God, you can just name it. People
Hmm.
are made into soaps and bar soaps and shampoos, and oh, it is just appalling to me to see there's so much noise out there for people to choose from.
Hmm.
And people are telling, oh, this is the best way to improve glutathione levels. This is the best way to improve glutathione levels. And I'm not saying they don't work,
Hmm.
but they're going to say in most people, it will go by 20%, 30%, 30%, 40%. It's like fooling it's like a numbering game, right? They just fool the
Yeah.
people and assuming that, oh, if it increase by 30, 40%, I'm okay because rest of my diet is pretty good anyway, so I'll be fine, right?
Hmm.
In reality, it does not do that part. In reality is that it only improves based on your body's ability to take the glutathione, break it down, absorb the cysteine, use the cysteine to make the glutathione again.
Yeah.
If the 30 or the 40% is all the improvements you're going to get, that's because that's the body's capacity to make that much glutathione only.
Yep.
But if you need 100%, and if you only increase 40%, Kelly, you're out of luck. I'm sorry. You're out of luck. And
Yeah.
if you have any of those diseases, I'm telling you, you're absolutely out of luck. There's no chance the body's going to make that much glutathione for you.
Right.
If your needs $1 million a year to survive, but your job only pays you $100,000,
Yeah. It's not
you
gonna
can
cut it.
beg, you can do GoFundMe page, you can do whatever, you can put Riker on the street walk and say, hey, pet my dog and give me $20. I'm telling you, it's not going to fill in the gap.
Right. Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to tell people, that if your need for glutathione is so high, because I'm telling you the needs are high, because
Yeah.
anybody above the age of 30, your needs are increasing day by day. By the age 40, there's nothing you can do to replenish those needs. So then the supplementation comes into place, and there was nothing available.
Yep.
So I had two things I had to do. I had a physical barrier of your skin, I had a chemical barrier of your cell wall to get it inside your cell.
Mm-hmm.
Two barriers, one's a lock and key, and one's a size issue. Oh my God, my brain could not even work. And this technology exists in the world, but there are no drugs available in the market today.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we were working with this molecule with glutathione, I said, oh my God, first of all, if I take the glutathione to my mouth, it's going to destroy it. It doesn't matter what form I put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
The only chance I have is that if I go to my skin, the ends of the skins are very limited. And there's a way, if I go fast enough, that I can bypass that.
Yeah.
Okay. So my thing is, if I make the particle so small, if I bypass the skin barrier, goes inside really fast, then
Yeah.
the enzymes have no time to react and chop it down.
Yeah.
So what I did was I took the glutathione molecule and twisted it into a space, into this like small ring, and to make it into a small structure. That way it can get through your physical. Physically, there's a barrier so small that you cannot get there. The molecule is so big. So
Yeah.
you twist so small they can get through your skin. That was my first patent,
Wow.
right? Now
Yeah.
the second part was even that's the second one was even more difficult, because now you come to the pearly gates of the cell wall, and unless you have this magic song, you cannot get in, right?
Yep.
And so what gets into the cell wall? What's getting the cell wall is actually what the cell needs. And the cell needs carbohydrates to produce energy. So I said, okay, I want to give carbohydrates, but carbohydrates is sugars, and sugar is going to raise sugar levels.
Yeah.
And most of my patients are diabetic. I don't want to do that.
Right.
So we found a bunch of polysaccharide molecules that are sugar-like molecules. The body does not know any different, will
Yeah.
take it, and it will go there. The problem I had was glutathione is this big, and the sugar molecules are this like tiny holes, like these, very
Uh,
tiny holes.
uh-huh.
Since I already twisted it out, I said, hey, how about the twisted molecule? I put the sugar molecule on top of it. And that's what we did. That's
Wow.
what we did. Guess what? The whole molecule was small enough to get through your skin. When it hit the cell wall thought that, oh, this is carbohydrates. Take it up. Inside was the glutathione. It's like you buy a bag of M&Ms and inside is a peanut. You didn't buy the M&Ms for the peanuts, did you?
No.
No, you bought the M&Ms for the chocolate, but inside is a peanut.
Yeah.
That's not a deal.
No.
But hey, it's all in my mouth. I'm not gonna spit it out. Let me enjoy the peanut as well. Might as well, right?
Right.
That's what the cell wall does. The cell wall accepts the polysaccharide molecules inside the glutathione. Now the glutathione is in your wallet. The money is in your wallet.
Yeah.
Now you can go and spend it. And when we did that part, the hell broke loose for us. The results were just out of the world.
Yeah.
And that's, and I got so scared. I said, oh my God, wait a second now. If it's this fast, the results are so fast, I gotta find out
Yeah.
how much to give you, how often to give you, how long can I give it to you for? Am I gonna give you for the rest of your life? Can I do it for short-term treatment? Can I do long-term treatments? What, oh my God, I got so many questions.
Sure.
So many questions. They took me another 13 more years
Wow.
to figure those things out. And then I finished writing this book.
Oh my gosh. That's just absolutely incredible. And it's just wild too to think, like you said, having like this molecule that looks like sugar, almost acts like it, but that's, one of the keys that was needed in order for it to cross and go through and
Yeah,
be accessible inside the body. It's incredible that, science is just so wonderful in that way that, we find these ways to make this accessible. So I love that you have found that. And tell us more about your products. Like, how can people access them? What are the options? And give us maybe
absolutely.
a couple of success stories too of, which are shockful in the book as well. But go ahead and share that with us.
Absolutely. So my website is aurowellness.com, AURO wellness.com.
Yeah.
And you know what? I plan to over deliver and under promise. And I'm telling you, this product, if you have never tried this before, you got to give it a shot once.
I'm
You got to
excited.
try it once.
Yeah.
It's an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
And I feel so confident about it that if you don't see any success, we don't charge shipping and handling, we don't charge you anything extra. We'll 100% refund your money back after using the product for 30 days. When the
Wow.
bottle is empty, if
Yeah.
you feel like that you not get any benefit out of it, please don't sweat it. Give me a one-star review. Tell is this an utter waste of my time? We'll be more than happy to refund your money because until you try it and you experience it, you have no idea how it's going to feel. You have
Wow.
no idea,
Yeah.
right? And some people will see the results in one day, some
Yeah.
people in 2 weeks, and some people in 2 months. But it all depends on what part of the body is it working on. As I said, oxidative stress is linked to 1,000 different conditions. We don't know which one is going to act on at
Yeah.
that particular time. But
Exactly.
regardless, in 2 months, everybody is going to see the results. And that's what I want to make sure people get to experience it. So please take my word for it. You got to try this out at least once, right? Join my newsletter if you have more information. It's at oralwellness.com. I develop a whole skincare line as well because what I did with the wellness,
Yeah.
oh, the skincare is another billion or probably $1 trillion industry
Yeah.
that that overpromises and underdelivers. I'm not giving you any promise. You are who you are. You're beautiful for who you are.
Yeah.
All my job is to put this glow back in your face. The beautiful face that you have, I want to put it back to where it was when you're
Yeah.
a baby.
Ah,
And that glow comes back really fast if you just remove all the debris from inside your skin out.
yeah.
You cannot lather it on with some colors and put a fake smile on there and people are not going to notice it. People notice it all the time,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
So enjoy the natural beauty that you already have, right? And I want the skincare line is just phenomenal in that sense because we have 6 square inches of space and I have almost 7 or 8 different ingredients at full concentration, squeezed into small particles, deliver the same technology, boom, in your skin. It is just out of this world. Anyways, you
Incredible.
gotta try this one. You gotta try this one. I cannot tell you anything more than that, but other than after 30 days, after you try the product, please send me a raving reviews on how it changed your lives. 'Cause that's what I live for, right? When my
Yeah.
cell phone rings up, I say, "Oh my God, thank you for giving me this product. This just changed my life." That's
Yeah.
what I live for. I get my energy not from money. It's from my raving fans that are out there telling me that I have helped them create a better life for themselves. That's
Yeah.
what fuels me to do more work, create more solutions for your body, and get out there because I think a lot more to offer. But it's like every single thing. If you don't clap on somebody's speech and give them standing ovation, then guess what? That person says, "Oh, maybe I didn't deliver enough. Maybe this is not my thing. I'll do something else. This is not my thing," right? Versus you tell them, "Oh my God, what a great job you did," gives them energy to go do more for you.
Hmm.
And that's my fuel. That is my
Yeah.
fuel.
Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. It's radiating through the screen. I know that there's, just so much more to come. I mean, we're just scratching the surface, so to speak, the tip of the iceberg. And I just can't wait to see what all comes, in the next several years, heck, the next few
Oh,
decades, the research that comes out.
absolutely. So Kelly, I just want to mention one more thing before I answer the next question. But
Yeah,
there's three things to reduce oxidative stress.
yeah,
There's three ways to do that part, right? One is you take antioxidants from outside sources.
yeah.
Vitamin C, vitamin E, CoQ10, cholera, some algae extracts, some C60s. I mean, there's a whole slew of products out
Hmm.
there, right?
Yeah.
Combine all those products, combine all those products. That's one bucket. Okay. The second bucket is your body produces enzymes like superoxide dismutase, SOD, right? Glutathione peroxidase, GPX, catalase. So they produces enzymes to deal with oxidative stress.
Hmm.
So that's the second bucket. If you combine bucket number one and bucket number two, all the products in the world and all the enzymes that your body produces internally, glutathione is superior than those two combined.
Wow.
That's how powerful
Yeah,
glutathione is. The body only produces glutathione as a third bucket to deal with oxidative stress.
yeah,
And that's why if you have a genetic defect which your body cannot produce glutathione, it really, really shows up in all kinds of diseases. It really shows up, right? And that's what now we are finding it out with genetic testings today that there are people out there who they have issues.
yeah.
They cannot conjugate enough, or they have some of the enzymes are not producing enough. So instead of rate limiting step being the three amino acids, which is without those amino acids you cannot produce, now you have lots of amino acids but no workers to make it, right? Imagine you have all the bricks but no employees to lay the brick for the house,
Yeah,
right? Or you have all the bricks and all the labor but no water
right.
or no electricity.
Yeah,
Everything has to be there abundance
yep.
to produce it, right? And so as you start aging, certain things, energy starts levels getting lower. If you're not enough not have enough ATP, you can take all the vitamins in the world, but you have no energy to make it, you're out of luck.
Right.
And so that's the issue. So I just want people to understand three ways to make to deal with oxidative stress.
I appreciate
But
that.
glutathione, by far, the strongest thing. If you combine everything that your body produces and from outside sources, glutathione is far more superior than that.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite literally a superpower, you
That's
know?
it.
Yeah,
That's what I
it
call the
is.
mother of all antioxidants.
Yeah, it is. I would love for you to share. I've got a couple more questions. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I feel like we could go on and on forever. I'm just so enthralled. But for someone who's wondering with your products, can they put it, anywhere? Let's say they're having knee pain.
Yeah.
Put it on their knee. Can they put it on their abdomen? Where can this go? Is the sky the limit?
The No, the sky's not the limit. I prefer to put a non-hairy part of the body
Okay.
because the part of the glutathione, the polysaccharide, is very sticky to your skin. It's like very tacky. Ugh, it's not fun for me either.
Yeah.
So if you have hair, so if you see my arm is shaved, I shave my arms. Why? Because I apply on my arm every day.
Yeah.
I apply on my arm, I rub it on my arm. It just if there's no hair there, it just goes in very smooth. There's the hair is not sticking to my skin, so it's very comfortable for me, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Guys that have hair every part of the body, I'm sorry. You got to figure out what part of the body that you would like to give up. And, usually the obliques have no hair in there.
Yeah.
My friend has his, you want to bet? I said, no, I don't want to bet because guys they have hair everywhere. That's always a hard part for the guys. For
Yeah.
women, oh my God, it doesn't really matter, right? So my dad used to apply on his knees when he had arthritis on his knees, right?
Okay.
And pain goes away, and then he walked 6 miles per day with arthritis and no
Wow.
pain, right?
Wow.
So you can
Yeah.
apply on your knees for the direct impact of where you are. If you have issues on your face, you can apply on your face directly, and the spots goes away, and the discoloration disappears, and things like that too.
Okay.
So yes, you can apply directly at the affected area,
Okay.
but keep in mind it improves the glutathione levels internally.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
even though it has a direct impact at the affected area temporarily,
Yeah.
you are still getting the benefit internally for the rest of the body.
Body. Yeah, I love that. That's incredible. Now, so this is probably one of my most exciting things to ask you, because I don't know the answer to this yet, but we're about to find out. In your book, towards the end, you talk about further research and where we're going with glutathione. And at the time that you wrote the book, we were just at the beginning stages of COVID. So I would love for you to talk about any research since then that you have found related to COVID and its effects on that, as well as Riker left the building here, but I'm sure he'll be back. I also, for those dog lovers out there, want to know, how can this help animals, dogs as well?
Horses, dogs. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So 2007, when we first discovered the molecule, and as a researcher, you know, I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to know more.
Mhm.
My entrepreneur brain tells me, put it in the market, put it in the market, make some money, put it in the market, make some money. But my brain was a lot more stronger and powerful. So I never released the product until 2020. Uh, in 2020, and you said you're right. I want to do more research, more figure out.
Yeah.
But when I first found out that COVID was actually attacking anybody who was immunocompromised more than anybody else,
Yeah.
and glutathione being the most powerful antioxidants and help build up immune system,
Mhm.
I had to release the product. I had no packaging ready. I had no bottling. Nothing was ready.
Yeah.
Nothing was ready, right?
Yeah.
So I've released the products against my researcher background. I said, no, people need this today. So I
Yeah.
released the product in 2020 for the first time to the public,
Yeah.
right? 2021 was official launch date for us, but 2020 is when we kind of make it available to the public. Anybody who wants to buy the product from us,
Sure. Sure.
right? And so very quickly, uh, the few professors at the local university and medical school called
Mhm.
me up right away. I said, this is insane. I said, okay, what do you mean by insane? Well, our university has been publishing a lot of research on glutathione using liposome technology.
Yeah.
We are probably the largest publication, number of publications we have ever done using glutathione with liposome technology. I said, okay. And we use your product for a couple of patients, and the results are out of this world. I said, okay, now we're talking. Now what should we do go from here? I said, what if the guy came to me right away and said, hey, I'd like to do more further studies and I want to do human trials, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as we launched the product, like a couple of months, a month later, the world was shut down in March.
Yeah.
COVID came in February. So we launched the product in February. By March, the whole world was shut down. So the doctors and said, hey, we'd like to do the research, but the IRB shut down. But it's too good for us not to try it. So basically, they started using the products for all the patients during COVID time.
Wow.
And then they tried to publish the data as a clinical trial, but of course, nobody would allow them to publish it
Mhm.
because there was no IRB approval present at that time.
Yeah.
So they did not publish as a human trial, but they published as a manuscript. And the manuscript basically tells me their story of what they did and how it worked on the patient. And that was published in one of the peer-reviewed journals,
Yeah.
and they all got published. But that triggered additional studies. And so next year comes out and said, Nayan, now we're going to do a human trial, but we're going to IRB approval process and every single thing. Since we had the other published study, the IRB was kind of a little upset at them. I said, hey, you should get an IRB approval. I said, but you were shut down. I cannot get an IRB approval for you. And
Right.
so they put some roadblocks to them. They give them a 1 year to get an approval process. Usually it's a 2 week process.
Okay.
It took them 52 weeks to get approval. because they went straight to human trials. They said, no, no, you should do animal study first. I said, no, it's a glutathione. It's an inert molecule. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
I said, no, 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 you should always do animal trials first. I said, who said that? You cannot tell me what I should do and what should not. Anyway, so they went back and forth. Long story short, we got the approval, they did the human trials. Uh, and what they found out was it reduced inflammation in 1 hour.
Wow.
It improved all the immune markers. Well, they only did one blood draw 3 days later, and all the immune markers went up, skyrocketed. Because what they did was they took the blood and infected the blood with mycobacterium infection. There's no cure for mycobacterium infection. As I see what the body responds to it. And
Yeah.
the body responded so well, produced all the immune markers. The
Wow.
people in the glutathione group, the people in the placebo group, no change.
Huh.
No change. And
Wow.
so the researcher says, oh my God. Then this was within 4 hours. They
Jeez.
saw all the markers had gone up, and the 3 days later, there was just skyrocketing numbers.
Yeah.
And so that research has triggered additional 3 or 4 more studies right now.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're not done yet. I mean,
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah.
we're just enjoying the discoveries that we are making at this point. And now the doctor has just published another article on long COVID and uh, uh, and somebody has an infarction, and once you open up the blockage, what happens after that, and
Wow.
all kinds of things, diabetes and
Yeah.
shingles and you just name it right now. The doctors are going crazy right now in terms of the number of studies that it's been triggered. So this year, I mean, we just got a call again that they want to do another study again this year as well.
Wow.
So there's lot more coming now.
Sure.
We're not done yet. We're in the infancy stage right now, so this is a lot more to come. Since
Yeah.
we published the book, we have published at least three articles. There's another two got approved, one more still pending. So with 3 more articles coming this year as well.
Great.
So we'll have at least 6 articles published in peer-reviewed journals on the different usages of this molecule
Yeah.
incorrectly.
Oh, that's incredible. And for those dog lovers out there, I know you said that your dog uses the
I
glutathione
know.
as well.
Let's talk about the dogs.
What can,
So
dog lovers expect if they,
so
use this?
in my book, I had a story about Flaming Flash
Yep.
is a 4-year-old pony, which is, in the horse races, they pay ponies to race because they're not expecting to win.
Yeah.
I said, but they have to fill up the slots.
Yeah.
You can't just run a race with just 2 horses, right?
Right.
You got to fill up all the spots.
Yeah.
So they invite people and say, hey, bring your horse, I'll pay you to run, right? Just pay you to run, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so this pony was not expected to win. He was a paid horse to come and play,
Yeah.
and the horse was old. So the owner, no, I think the veterinarian of the horse, knew one of the person that I work with,
Uh-huh.
and she comes to me and said, "Hey, do you think this is going to help the horses? I have a very old pony, it's supposed to run, but might not make it,
Ah,
right?" I
yeah.
said, I said, I have no idea. I said, the horse is about 2 tons, right? 2,000 kilos. I said, okay, that's way more than a human being will ever weigh. I said,
Mhm.
let's dose appropriately. And so we give the horses the glutathione.
Mhm.
Guess what? The horse won the race.
Won the race. I remember that. That
Oh
was
my
an
God.
incredible
And
story.
of course, as soon
Uh,
as they won the race, the horse was decommissioned because nobody would ever touch him again, right?
Yeah.
It was sad, but the story about that one was, oh my God, this is amazing,
Yeah.
right? So when I saw that part, I didn't get my dog until like 2019. As soon as I got my dog, I was applying glutathione, and my dog sniffs it up. I said, and starts licking my area of application.
Uh-huh.
And so I quickly started researching about glutathione in dogs and cats and all those people. So dogs have hepatotoxicities. All dogs have toxic liver all the time because they eat a lot of stuff that they're not supposed to touch, right? I said, oh, it's not going to be bad for the dogs. It's not going to be bad for the kittens because kittens have a lot of shingles and a lot of viral infections. It's not bad for the cats either. So for the cats, we give it to the university. They have a veterinary school over there, so they're doing some clinical trials on the cats right now. But
Wow.
for the dog side, my dog, oh my God, he loves glutathione. If he hears a spray, like I spray twice a day, my wife sprays twice a day. If he hears a spray, it doesn't matter where in the house he is. He's running to us, coming back, sitting
Oh,
down. I said, "Okay, my turn to lick
ready.
your arms." So I'll put my arms, I'll rub it in my arms, and just give my palms to my dog to lick it off. My dog's he just licks it off every single day. So he just
Oh,
licks it off twice a day. But once in a while, I treat him. I put a couple extra sprays in my palm and just give it to him a couple extra sprays as well. It's great for the dogs. So
yeah.
I had a one of my friend had a 16-year-old dog, arthritis. In California, we have two-story houses because nobody can afford a single-story house. There's no land over here, of course. It's a two-story house. All the bedrooms are upstairs, and the kitchen and living quarters and the family rooms are downstairs. Of
Uh,
course, the dog comes to the room every single day. It's a 16-year-old dog. So one of my friends says, "My dog will not come upstairs anymore. He just can't walk."
yeah.
I said, "Okay, what are you gonna do?" I said, "Well, do you think the glutathione spray is going to work on him?" I said, "Well, I don't know. Let's try it." And this was about 3, 4 years ago, okay? Right in the during the pandemic. I said, "Well, let's try it." Literally in 2 weeks, the dog was running up and down.
Oh my gosh.
And his wife goes, "What the heck is wrong with
Who
Rufus?"
is
And goes,
this
"Mom,
dog?
what's up? What's going on with this kid over here?" Oh my God. A week ago, he was just pooping everywhere in the house, and now he's running up and down enjoying life.
Ah,
It's not about the thing is this pets the we love our animals. My dog can get away with murder in my house, right? We love our pets, but the thing is our goal is what? To make life easy, good for them, enjoy life.
enjoyable.
They're
Yeah,
not asking for anything from us.
right.
They give so much pleasure to me, bring
Yeah.
my tension, my depression. If I come home, oh my God, this is the first guy that's going to treat me and greet me and jumping all over me, gives so much joy to me. The least I can do is make him feel better.
Yeah.
So that's what I do for him. And so, yeah, my dog gets it all the time. I want to have we have a product called Gluta Pet right now. It's not released to the public yet, but
Okay.
we are working on it right now to try to identify the different doses for dogs. Dogs have different sizes,
Yep.
different ages. So I'm trying to figure that portion out. So hopefully in the near future, we'll have some version of glutathione for pets available.
That's
Until the time,
incredible. Oh, that's
use the
incredible.
glutathione.
I love that. So many good stories you've shared today, Dr. Patel, just on how effective this is and how impactful it is on our health. And I just have to say again, if you as the listener and viewer have not picked up this book, you need to go get it because it's just an absolutely incredible wealth of knowledge that you need to have access to. And so I just want to say, Dr. Patel, thank you so much for being on today. Thank you so much for spending the time with me, with my listeners and viewers. Can you just share before we wrap up, any ways that viewers and listeners can connect with you?
Absolutely. So my website is oralwellness.com.
Yeah.
Over there, there's ask questions. You'll come to my team. My team will forward straight to my assistant
Okay.
and me directly to both of us. If it's something simple, my assistant is actually an MD. Right? He's a doctor, so him and I will work together very closely and we'll answer every single thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We also have an offer when you buy both the products and the book. We have an offer on my website. When you buy the whole set together, you also get free time with me one on one. And
Excellent.
so it's no cost there's no additional charge for that. It's just that I want you to use it correctly, and I'm here to answer any and all questions you have. So you can book a time as soon as you buy the product. Right away, a link comes to you. You can book a time with me, and we can go in detail about your personal condition. So please take up on that offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the book because the book it's not that expensive, but it's really uplifts you.
Yeah.
It's like if I can, if everything that I have done and that I've done in my life that tells me that, hey, what is one thing I can do to really have a gigantic effect on my personal health and wellness journey? If something like a $20 book can do it for you, it's the best money you will ever spend,
Absolutely.
ever.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
It
Yes.
really is. Well, Dr. Patel, thank you so much for coming on today. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It was good chatting today. Thank you.
Absolutely.